Welcome to the new show, Toward a Solar Civilization, where your host, Naika Gabriel, introduces many experts who will focus on the development of spiritual consciousness, the importance of wisdom, love, and fraternity, and the living knowledge of the laws of nature and the universe. They delve into the profound and transformative ideas of Omraam Mikhaël Aïvanhov that have significantly impacted spiritual thought and provide practical methods to awaken you in a more purposeful, conscious, spiritually aligned way of living. Here is Naika Gabriel, your host.
The arts have played an important role throughout humanity's existence. How does it help our development and our spiritual life, you may ask? Hi, I am Naika, your host for this second season of Toward a Solar Civilization, the teaching of Omraam Mikhaël Aïvanhov. Today, on this precious episode, you will hear 3 people deeply engaged in singing and in theater. Exhaussée begins with the fact that the very first musical instrument ever created is our voice through our vocal cords. Singing is like using tuning forks, enticing others on the same wavelength to also vibrate. Songs such as those composed by Master Peter Deunov are based on initiatic knowledge that has benefits on the mind, the heart, and the willpower. Choir singing takes the experience to a broader dimension, as every singer benefits from the qualities and virtues that emanate from all singers, reinforcing one's aura and having beneficial effects on all listeners. I will now hand you over to Exhaussée and to Anatole, who interviewed her recently at the Bonfait in the south of France. Over to you, Anatole.
So welcome, Exhaussée, to this new episode for OnTimes TV and the Fraternal Forum. Thank you very much for making time available again. We very much enjoyed your interview last time on episode number 6. This time, as we were sitting here and talking about the preparation of this interview, I realized that we have birds around us that are singing.
Yes.
In every direction they're singing. Maybe they're even coming from the camera there. Who knows, maybe some of you listeners are singing as we speak. What do you think makes human beings want to sing, love to sing, enjoy singing? Why does it have such a profound effect on our moods, on our temper, on our inner state?
Hi Anatole, thank you for having me. I really appreciate, talking with you, having interviews with you as a team as well. So everything in nature makes a certain sound. So music is within us and outside of us. So that's why we are so linked to to music. In all cultures, in all traditions, music is present. So back in time, centuries ago, our ancestors were using drums in order to make music, to dance, to sing. So music has always been part of our humanity lines, and that's why we feel so connected with music, and that's why it's so important. That's why music is so important in our lives, even nowadays.
Does it have something to do with the spiritual evolution, perhaps, of our souls incarnating into human flesh and blood, into the material?
Yes, this is a great question, Anatole, because all the animals have the sounds, but also as human beings have our voice. So our voice has been given to us by the cosmic intelligence, by the Creator, by God, by the universe, in order to tune ourselves, to make all ourselves vibrate, because we are the king, the queen of all the cells dwelling in our body. So by singing, we are sort of making all our cells vibrate on the same level. It's kind of a tuning fork. It's like using a tuning fork to make ourselves vibrate on the same wavelength. That's why it is so important to sing, because when we sing, we can touch every part of our bodies, all from feet to head. When we sing, our voices create in higher planes, like we can call it a steam or a color or a vibration on the top of our heads. So when we sing all together, there is the sharing of the subtle energies all around of us, and that's the best fusion that we can have, is what is happening inside our worlds by singing, for example. All the emanations, all the radiations, everything that is produced by the song are fusioned, are combined, and that really creates the harmony around the world. So with those vibrations created by people singing, especially with the four voices, it vibrates all over the world and creating a certain harmony, emanating, spreading out, and touching someone here and there, in Australia, in Africa, in Asia, in America, in Europe. So singing can really do marvelous things for peace, for love, for joy, for calm around the world, and also for healing for each and every one of us. So when we sing, we are sharing with one another, with each other, the qualities and the virtues and even the flaws that we have inside of us. And this is why it is so important to really know what to sing. So that's why in the Universal White Brotherhood we have a list of songs that we sing every time that we meet, and because we know them, we also sing them in our daily lives. So those songs have been composed by the Master Peter Deunov. He's a Bulgarian master. So these songs have been composed in alignment, in accordance with the esoteric initiatic science. And this science comes from centuries and also comes from above. Those songs really help us tune ourselves when we sing them alone, but also attune to all the brothers and sisters around us when we sing in spiritual centers. Because they create such high vibration within us and between us, this song really can touch all the consciousness all around the world and make the earth elevate in vibrations. So more peace, more joy, more happiness can happen on earth quicker. So by singing these songs, we enlighten our intellect. It produces us to have more positive thoughts to one another, and also for ourselves, because when we diminish ourselves, when we do not consider who we are, we cannot consider others. And the other thing that those songs from the Master Peter Deunov do is to activate our willpower. We have that will to do all the things that we want to do in our lives, to also to help one another. It activates within us the help that we can share to other people. So it goes so far. The music that we listen to creates a structure within the liquid the blood and all the liquids within our body. So this music can create beautiful geometrical forms. So according to those shapes, it will be touching our intellect, it will be touching our heart, it will be touching our power, our actions. So by really choosing the right music, we are harmonizing our inner world, and by organizing our inner world, we can harmonize everything around us. They are the songs for new life, for the new generations to come, for the new humanity that is to come, for the sixth race that is to come. When we sing that, we are singing for the glory of God. It really creates vibrations all around us that calling higher entities of light to come and collect those energies, collect those vibrations, and spread them all over the world for more peace, more harmony, more joy, more happiness on earth. And when we do this work, we can really feel proud of us because we are contributing. And I have an experience about this. One day I was at Le Bon Fin. So I was there sitting. We sang the first song and we meditated. The second one, we closed our eyes to send all the waves of light after each song. And then, just after the third song, I closed my eyes and I saw entities with wings, and for me they are angels. So angels on the ceiling, forming a circle around the big hole, and each and every one of the angels as a recipient. They were collecting the energies that we created after those 3 songs. It was like a clip of maybe 1 second, but it looks like it lasted for many minutes. And I opened my eyes suddenly. I'm not a clairvoyant, I can assure you. But for me, it was a confirmation that the songs that we sing here are food for angelic beings, for higher beings of light, but also are contributing to add more light in all the consciousnesses, in all over the world. And in one of the Master Omraam Mikhaël Aïvanhov's lectures, he was mentioning that one day we will be healing people who are sick or ill, thanks to these songs. We would gather around one sick person, and with certain songs, singing those songs, we could heal that person. And he mentioned a specific song, which is Stani. If there is a spiritual center in your city, in your country, don't hesitate to go there and meet in person those brothers and sisters. And if you want to know what a spiritual center is close to your city, you can go to omraam.world. You can also watch the episode 5, it's full of the centers, presents all the centers that we have all over the world.
Thank you. Could you tell us a little bit more about the song Aum, please? The song with which we can begin all our prayers, according to the Master.
Simple. Aum. That's the only word that is pronounced through the song. So, with this song, listen to the Master singing Aum and sing with him. With that deep intention within you. Close your eyes if you want. Connect to your inner body. Connect to your higher self. Start singing. And if you have any pain, any sickness somewhere in your body, focus your attention, your concentration on that part of your body, sending it love while you sing. And you will feel that your vibration will be higher, and you will see over time, you will see miracles happening in your life, for your health, for your relationships to others.
The song Aum is repeated 4 times, with the first 3 renditions being forte, which means loud, and the 4th rendered piano, which means quiet. Following a brief meditation, the Master then sings it 4 more times.
Singing is not just a physical practice, it is also a spiritual practice that can transform your life, and from there, that can transform the life of others. Not only the closest people to you, the people that you meet everywhere, at work, at school, on streets, in public transport, but also the people who are so far from you that you don't even know. Because those vibrations that are spreading from you go all over the world, touch the whole earth, but also the whole universe. So thanks to you, harmony is produced and created quicker. So you have a choice now, after listening to this episode, to choose to sing or not. Thank you so much.
I didn't know that true music, as understood by initiates, transcends mere sound, nor that music can embody the harmony and order of the universe, reflecting divine wisdom and logos. And I find it amazing that by singing together, we can wield a powerful, magical force for good based on harmony and unity. We will now hear a story from Theu to complement Exhaussée's presentation. Theu has a lot of experience in the Brotherhood. He teaches singing and he is a musician himself. And he is a proud author of 2 books. Over to you, Theu.
I've been invited to share a couple of stories, a couple of anecdotes, things, most of them I've experienced them myself, that illustrate the magical moments that we share when we get together and sing Brotherhood songs. My name is Theu, and I was actually trained as a lawyer in Europe, but in my early 20s I fell in love with that Brotherhood music that we sing at our meetings. And in the meantime, like in the past 20 years, I've had the privilege to actually conduct spiritual choirs with this kind of music in over 15 countries, and also teach the sacred dance of Panorhythmy. And some of those absolutely magic moments that I've shared with my brothers and sisters, I would like to share a story with you that illustrates what Master Omraam told us that we do when we sing. Because Master Omraam said, when you guys sing, you emanate, you give your etheric energies. Like the brothers emanate their masculine energies and the sisters emanate their female energies, and above our heads they unite, they melt together, they form one. And if it's done right, the Master said you can even create winged creatures that have their independent life and that go and do good all around the globe. And one of the stories that excellently illustrates this is when one of our brothers, who's an incredible musician, he had created a very beautiful piece of music that's called L'hymne à la fraternité, the hymn to the brotherhood. And when that was performed for the first time at the Bonfin on a Sunday, the Master was very, very happy with the energies that were created at that occasion. And then, while it was sung on Sunday, the Wednesday that followed that Sunday, the Master, in one of his lectures, he mentioned, remember, we sang L'hymne à la fraternité, we sang that incredible song on Sunday. You need to know one thing. That energy that was created when you sang that song, it is still orbiting the earth and is still today spreading its blessing and doing good for many, many people. So that gives you an idea how precious things can get when we get together and sing. But that's not the only thing, that's just one aspect. Let me share another aspect with you. The good thing is, those songs are for everybody, because it does not only depend on your personal capacity to sing, it's more of a spiritual practice, because the Master encouraged us to actually call for help. You don't have to do it all by yourself. Like the rest of your life, Master said, when you sing, you can invite the entities of the higher realms. You can invite heaven. You can invite those creatures of light to come and sing through you, to come and use your vocal cords as their instrument. And in that case, you get much more than just your own capacity of singing. You actually get to convey some energy that's beyond what you yourself are able to produce. And this is how those more or less ordinary people, most of us, we are not trained musicians, but we get to incarnate something. One story that illustrates it extremely well is, it happened to us in Austria. It was just a very small gathering, probably, I would say, more or less 15 brothers and sisters getting together for a little retreat. We were invited there was a person who had created a beautiful small retreat center in Hungary, in a very small village, and she wanted us to bring some of our wonderful energies to that place. But in the end, we were invited to come and sing of our songs in the local church. There was a little chapel there for that village, and they said, well, why don't you come over on Sunday afternoon and sing a couple of your songs for us? And we accepted, although I had my doubts, because I knew the people I had with me weren't exactly whom I would have chosen to perform a concert. But we had to go with the people we had. So I said, we prepared to the best of our abilities, and then I said, please say your prayers and invite your friends. Invite the friends from the realms of the light, and beg them, supplicate that they may come and help us, because musically we're not that good, okay? But invite them to come and sing through us. And that's what we did. And we went to the chapel, and it was completely full. The whole village had come, because I don't think there was a lot was going on there culturally. So these people were happy to come and listen to us. And some of the people who participated were clairvoyant. And they unanimously declared that when the brothers and sisters entered the church, they saw an entity of light entering in each and every one of them. So it wasn't us doing the singing on that day. We were on a cloud. We were just delighted, and everybody left and then altered in the most beautiful state, because it wasn't actually us doing the job. It was them singing through us. And that is such a privilege, to be able to live moments like that. If you wish to experience it for yourself, as I said, this is not just for musicians. This is not just for special people. This is for people like you and me, who aren't even musicians, but who are willing to open themselves up to those currents that you can perceive when you really try to feel what those songs are about. Who are willing to open up to inviting those entities of the light to join us in song.
Thank you, Theu. This is so beautiful. I cannot wait to sing and invite those wonderful luminous entities to join me. Now we are on for a quick station break. All books mentioned during this episode are available on www.prosveta.world. Make sure you visit that website, as well as www.omraam.world, which is the website of the Fraternal Forum. Again, for the books, it is www.prosveta.world, and for the forum, it is www.omraam.world. We will be back shortly.
Om Times TV. Imagine becoming a super influencer. Reinvent yourself, invest in your brand, and then manifest your success with a robust spheric approach. Om Times Media and Broadcasting offers a unique and multifaceted way to become the spiritual and conscious influencer you deserve to be by putting your message across our powerful platform with its proven record of integrity and excellence. Through our produced shows, Om Times offers the opportunity to become a social media TV personality, a radio show host, an Om Times magazine columnist, and a syndicated podcaster, all in one shot. By live streaming your show on Om Times TV and broadcasting it across the extensive Om Times radio and TV networks, you become more than a host. You become an ambassador and a force for positive change. Om Times. Open yourself to the possibilities.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes, Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes.
Now we move on with a delightful and most interesting interview with Ouriel Zohar. He is an Israeli and French theater director, playwright, poet, and translator from French to Hebrew, and was professor at the Department of Humanities and Arts at the Technion University. He was interviewed by Carmen on the power of theater. Ouriel has been using theater for many decades as a psychological tool to bring people closer together and going even more deeply into healing through this modality. Over to you, Carmen.
Welcome, Ouriel. It's such a pleasure to finally interview you.
Thank you.
Coming from different parts of the world, we had to meet somewhere. So how did you get interested into theater?
So I can tell you about it, that when I was 12 years old, I was living in a kibbutz, and there was a theater director, professional theater director, who came in the kibbutz, and he did a test or examination for the children, youth, and adults to see, I was 12 years old, you know, who can be his actors and so on. And he said to me after the test, "You are mine." And I was very surprised. So I went with tears to my mother and I said to her, this man said that I am him, or how you say, that I am his. And I was crying and she said, "Don't cry, take your time, be quiet. Everybody know that you are mine and you will stay mine, but you are going to test him now to see if he is okay. So go and do it." So I went, and then I couldn't believe it anymore. So I became his first actor. It was a professional means, like here. And a lot of people came to the show, like 5,000, you cannot believe it. So every year I was working with him all the time, from I don't know how long, in the summer, in April, and all the vacation that children have, and it was like 7 years with the same subject, which is Holocaust, Shoah. This was the subject.
Okay. And your role then was an actor?
I was.
And only later on you started to write your own plays?
I started to write a play. I wrote the plays when I was in hospital with my problems, but then when I was 9 years old. But the first play that I directed was in the university, the Tel Aviv University. But before, you have to know that I started to study all the subjects like psychology, philosophy, history, laws. I studied everything. And after 1 month studying everything, he came again, Eliyahu Goldenberg, the same director. And he met me and he said, "What are you studying?" And I said to him, and he said, No, come with me. I will show you what is your profession. And he took me and he put me in a hall, very big hall of theater. And he said, "You sit here, you listen this course." I was very shocked by the teacher there. He was so enthusiastic. The scene was like 12 meters longer, larger. And he knew how to fulfill all the scene. You know, he did so good work.
By himself?
Yes, and the students were aware of it in a way, but I was so, let's say, shocked, amazed, or I don't know what is the word to say, very, very impressed. Mm-hmm. And I said, if a teacher speaking like that, and I don't understand any single word, and he is so happy to speak, so enthusiastic,
maybe there is something in this theater department. So I stay in this theater department. And after 3 years, I think, I wrote the play and I directed the play, and the students who did the play became a very known actors later. So after that, I started to write some books, some theater plays about love.
That's the theme? Is that the theme
Yes,
that you developed?
Yes, first of all, it was love, conflict, and searching for poetry in the text. You know, to see how the text is not only about the personality of people, but about something which keep you spiritual in a way. But in this time, I don't have this definition of spirituality or something like that. It was before this, or like ideal or something like that.
Like a higher feeling.
Yeah.
Yes. I read the book of your late wife, Martine. She wrote this book, My Life in Israel, Under the Pine Tree. And I saw that you created many playwrights that dealt with conflicts between the Arabs and the Jewish, and you were trying to help them like a therapy, reconcile their differences.
Yes.
Tell us how you worked this out, because that's a very difficult question.
Yes, but we have to know that it started with my brother, whose name is Shalom, which means peace. And when I was 12, 13 or 14 years old, he brought at home Arab Muslim. It was the beginning of my meeting with Muslim, when I was very early in my life. And he brought him at home. My mother was shocked. She wasn't prepared for that. And this was a good initiation for us, because it taught us how to accept the other side of the border, Muslim and so on. So he said every week he will come, even if you are not agree, because when he went out, of course. And he said, you will accept him and you will see that he's a human being. And so he did a good job, my brother, Shalom Zohar. Yeah. And after that, my experience with Arabs, Muslim, started with the Muhammad Bakri, who was a simple student like me in the university. When he saw this play of love and poetry, he was very, very happy. And he started to speak with me. And then he told me his life, that he doesn't have a place to live. I was without a penny this time. But I have a little room of like, let's say 3 meters or to 4 meters, like something like that. And I put 2 mattresses and he lived there for 2 years.
2 years in that little room, the two of you together?
Yes, so it was in Tel Aviv, so it was very near to the university, so it was very easy to go to the university for him, for me. And that is the story, the beginning of the story of the relationship with Arabs, with Muslims. Because with Christian Arabs, there is no, I think there is no real problem. They are like you, huh? You and you. So let's say that after that, I was invited to teach in a university branch of Tel Aviv University, and I started to do a project, Jewish Arabs project, and then we met there Dr. Yael Ariel, and Martine was my first sister wife, and the 3 of us in 1987, we started the project to stop the Intifada. It was the first Intifada, and we said we have to do something. It's impossible to accept this fight between people. Human beings, souls and spirit are fighting. It's impossible. So we decided to do something, and we started to do a project, and we asked students. We start to work with students, Jewish and Arabs all the time, And we started to work there like at the beginning, for years, like 7 years I worked there. So this was the preparation. And with the children of the little one, like till starting with 12 years old and then 16 years old and so on. And then we worked with the teachers of all the schools, Arab and Jewish.
Wow.
And most of them, of the Arabs, are Muslim.
Okay.
And we work on, in my idea, it was what the master said, you bring beautiful women, beautiful men, you put them in both sides of the border, and Arabs and Jewish in both sides of the border, and the border will disappear.
Beautiful.
So this idea brought me to another idea which was not mentioned in Israel. You cannot mention mixed marriage between Jewish, Muslim, Christian, Druze. It's impossible because one will be killed in one side, if you mention something like that. And especially the Jewish are against it, and the Christian are against it, and the Muslim are against it, and be careful with the Druze. So we brought them to the idea of Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet is a love story, but it ends very tragically.
Yeah.
So the end is that they are killed, both of them, as you know. So I was thinking, yes, it's a good idea to work on it, to see how difficult it is. This is one side of the story, that it is very difficult to bring people from both sides and to bring them together. But love is doing it.
Yeah.
So we did it. We did it with love. We did the effort to approach each other, to be close each other on stage, and to do exercises around it for all the people, all the participants. In the end, there was like 6,000.
Participants to that Romeo and Juliet.
Not only Romeo and Juliet,
but several of them.
All the other. We don't have time to speak about all the activities. For 6,000 who worked for 7 years, it's impossible. It was very difficult with the teachers because they, after the first semester, it was okay. We are working on Romeo and Juliet. It's very nice. We are kind to each other and so on. But the second semester, it started by they are saying to me, "You are a traitor. You are going with the other side." Like the Jews said, "You are a traitor. We see you love the Arabs, you love the Muslim." And the Arabs said, "You are Jewish. You are with the Jewish, and you love them, and you are not giving us." I said, "Look, you are crazy, both of us, both of you. You are, me too, yes, to do something like that in Israel. But you are in a universal debate. You are in a universal meeting. It is to find something else between you. If I am coming and I treat you and I'm with one side more than with the other side, it's crazy for me. It's foolish. It is not faithful. It's nothing. It's not moral to do something like that. I have to be with both of you with a lot of love. And this is what I'm trying to do, to be with both of you and to help you to do the best for this idea of love between people." So you see, before speaking about mixed marriage, it was speaking about love all the time.
Yeah.
And then we changed the end of the story. We are not Shakespeare, but we changed the story and we said, what will happen if the story don't finish like in the tragedy,
of death.
Yeah. What happened if they are married? What will happen in the both society? How they will get it? How will they accept it? Yeah. In what way? So tell us. So there is a prejudice from both sides. How can you go there? I will kill. Which one you will kill? The other one, because he did it. No, I will kill the one. I will kill this one. Kill. So I said to them, but let's say that some of you accept the situation. everybody will kill, so you are doing the same end as Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
So what is our win? Where is the win-win?
Yes.
At the same time, I started to work in Haifa University. Haifa University, you can think it is MIT. MIT is like, but they are doing also architect and also medical studies. The students are engineers, most of them. Mm-hmm. I started with play that I wrote or we wrote together with them, so they will be engaged in the situation, you know. So it's always the idea of the master in the back, you know. If beautiful people will meet together, the border will separate them, and the border will disappear. Yeah. This was the idea all the time that the master said, Omraam Mikhaël, Aïvanhov. He said it few times in his lectures, and what we saw that if I take only the Jewish, for example, and we are doing mixed marriage between East and West, which is a big problem in Israel. Now it is better, but it was little at the time. And to do it in the biggest hall in the university, like 650, and people didn't say a word about mixed marriage between East and West. People coming from the East, the Jewish coming from the East and the West. So the idea, I said to myself, if I'm going further, let's say what will be happened after. So another play was The Palestinian. The Palestinian girl is a story which ends like Romeo and Juliet. Some of the plays went to Europe, to festivals. This was with the students. And what happened, what was interesting was the laboratory that we have done. It's like 6 months we worked together. Wow. Which in the theater, in the commercial theater, you don't have time to do it because you have to finish after a month. And here we had 6 months. And we lived together in the theater. We ate together. We danced together in the play.
So that created like a community.
Exactly. We created a little community of 12 persons, of 12 Arabs, Jewish, and there was Christian and Muslim and Jewish. There was no Druze, but in our fraternity, in our brotherhood, there is also Druze who believe in the reincarnation. And this was amazing because they keep after the contact.
Even when the program was over, they stayed in touch together.
This was
so that
wonderful.
meant you cemented
so
the friendship.
And it was also the realization. It was like a crystallization of the idea, you know? Because we didn't speak anymore about mixed marriage, but we did it. Yeah. We did another play, which is a story of a woman who is coming to a studio like this studio here with cameras and light and all that. And she is a mixed from the beginning, you know. She is mixed.
Mixed marriage.
Jewish and Muslim. Father Muslim and the mother Jewish. And they said, oh, so you are Jewish if your mother is Jewish. But it was mixed. It was mixed. And the story is that she invited people that already had an experience. And most of the experience are very bad, not without any success. But there was a lot of love. Even after someone is separated, there is a lot of love between people. They are keeping the love. So to say to the audience who are coming, to the public who are coming to watch us, even if it's not succeed yet in your mind, there is love between the people. Yeah. And there was every story love. It was a love story like Romeo and Juliet, but he did it in another way that it is like continue Romeo and Juliet in our life, in modern life, and to show that maybe if we do one more step, it will be possible one day. Yeah. Okay, I think it's yes, also with Muhammad Bakri, as you said yesterday, you said he owed you after 2 years living with you in your room. And I said, yes. So started in 93. He invited me, as he is a very big actor and very known in Israel and in France, in Egypt. Lately he was in a movie, and he's doing a lot of movies in the Arabic countries and so on. So he invited me to work with him, and we did a play, which is a play coming from Syria. So we worked with Syria, you know, and another play coming for the Palestinian writer. We worked together in Paris, in Belgium, for the peace festivals. So he did it in Arabic, in Hebrew, and I did it in French. And I was sitting on the stage, like the writer who wrote all these plays. And it was a big success also, very good.
Yeah.
I hope you will listen.
As roommates, you ended up having a friend for life on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
So now I would like to know, Ouriel, how do you integrate the teaching of Master Omraam Mikhaël Aïvanhov into your playwrights? How do you reconcile the teaching, not reconcile, but integrate?
But I gave you a lot of examples how I put the idea of the master. Now we will go a step further, because as we publish our books for children and youth, it's plays, theater plays, and in Hebrew, French, and some of them in English. There is 2, I think, in German, 1 in Spanish. And the books are all of them based on the master teaching.
Okay.
So if after, of course, in my work in the university, the basic, let's say, for example, to do, and before doing the acting work, I put the panorhythmy with me, and I was doing the relaxation at the same time. And they love it for 20 minutes before working, before getting on stage.
On stage.
I was trying to put the teaching in every step of my life.
Okay.
And the books, Barbara is doing the design, so you can see the design of the books. It's completely in the spirit of the master, of the heavenly sides of the beauty painting, and it's like angels, and it's so beautiful.
Yes.
So you can find in our plays, in the theater plays in the university, and then all the plays, I did like 50 plays production.
Wow.
And then 25 out of the university at the same time and after that. So all the plays I've done after is the plays, for example, Serafita, the Honoré de Balzac, is the master told us, do it, do something with it. He said to us, do something with it, it's very important play. Novel, he said the novel. And we put it in a play.
What a fulfilling career you've had.
Oh,
Amazing.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
So, what did Omraam Mikhaël Aïvanhov say about theater?
This is very important, because he said, and you know, when the master is speaking about something very important, he stand up and he said that it is the initiation the most important, but the theater is coming immediately after that.
Wow, that's important.
And he said the same thing to Beatrice, who is the theater director too, in the teaching in the fraternity. And she told me the same. So it is not me alone. Two said it. And then there is a sister from Canada. She said, Master said to me, take all my teaching and do theater. Not only the jokes or only the dramatic sides, all the teaching. Yes, he teaches us that in the theater there is a need for conflict as a basic for the stage drama. And in his lectures, the dramatic sides existed in the duality between individuality and personality, according to his definition. But the divine side of human beings should be dominating at the end of the lecture, at the end of the songs, at the end of the theater shows. Yes.
Wow, what a mission.
Everything, put everything in the theater. Everything, all the teaching. And you put all yourself. You put your body, you put your feelings, your thoughts, your soul, your spirit. You put everything and you are naked. And this is not so easy, but at the same time, when we are naked, we are ready to give everything.
Yeah, it's
Because-
the truth. It's like the truth is there.
Yes.
Fantastic. So, if you've had a fulfilling career as a director and playwright, how long have you known the teaching of Omraam, Mikhaël?
You know, in 14 days, it will be the 18th August.
And that'll be the
It will be,
50th,
no, 49 years.
49th year. And I hear you are in the midst of writing a book.
Yes.
In the presence of Master Omraam, Mikhaël, Aïvanhov in my life, correct?
Yes.
It will be published on Amazon.
Yes, thank you. It will be, and we are ready with the French version, and we will be ready with the English. It's already translated, and I am doing now some corrections. It will be a very, very strong story.
Well, I look forward to reading it. I've read some of your plays, and even the children's plays. I've gone through them because I enjoy your style, the way
Thank you
you
so
bring up the teaching
Thank you so much.
through your actors. It's fascinating.
Thank you so much. So good.
So for our auditors, and we would like, if you would like to hear more about Ouriel Zohar, go to Wikipedia and read everything you can about the work you've done.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ouriel. What a pleasure it was
Oh,
to have this interview with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, dear Ouriel and Carmen, for this fascinating, interesting interview. I would love to be able to see one of your plays one day. This episode has truly been information-packed, so much food for spiritual thought. Many are saying that all great changes in the world come through the arts, and today we have been inspired to move forward and upward to a new understanding of how the arts nourish the soul and bring us closer to the divine world. If you have enjoyed this episode, please stay tuned for our next episode on Sacred Geometry by Alex. See you in 2 weeks. Stay safe and stay connected.
Sila živa nismo na te čušta, sila živa